Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction. This one is for No Game, No Life 0. So, well, we waited quite a while for this one, right? So, first things first, if you do not want to hear me mumbling about what I expect, which I will do next, you can just jump into my reaction. To do this, go into my descriptions, there's a link, which includes a link to the reaction itself. Remove the circumflex dots parts and add real dots instead, and you will see the reaction. So, for those of you who want to hear me mumbling about it, because I really waited for this movie, let's talk a bit about it before you jump over. So, well, No Game No Life is quite a while ago. I reacted to it on my old channel. Those of you who followed me at this time possibly know that. And I really like this series. It's such a clever idea, such a great idea to have a world where there is no war, where there is no bloodshed, because everything is more or neither solved by games. And who invented this? This guy right here, it's Ted. Well, what a name for a god. I mean, that's a strange one. If you have such an ancient being, such a humongous power, someone so strong, you might ask, seriously? Why is he named just Ted? Maybe we will learn this in this movie. As far as I know already by now, we jump back like some thousands years and we learn about how it came to be. And I really look forward to that. I hope that we kind of see some characters we already know, or at least their relatives in the past. I mean, we have people like Clummy and we have Stephanie, so the royal family. Maybe there's someone there we will encounter who is related to them in the far future then. I'm pretty sure we will learn how Ted came to be the one and ultimate god. I'm not sure if he was a god at that time or if he was somehow created. I hope that is the major thing. And as far as I understood, I remember that Ted told us something when it came to Sora and Shiro, our main characters from this series. He talked about the fact that their souls already like belonged into this world. So I guess that they are somehow in this world already. I'm hoping that we see maybe Jibril. I mean, she's a Flügel. I don't know how old those get, but I think it might be possible she was living already at this time. And I think she mentioned, I'm pretty sure she mentioned in the series that she was in the war. So I'm pretty sure we will meet her. And it will be interesting to see if she was different at this time or maybe not. Yeah, those are the things I'm kind of waiting for, and about the fact what exactly that war was like, what the heck is going on, you know. As far as I know, the then gods are now in the series a race, I think the first or second race, so they are no longer godlike, but they are still very influential and strong. So let's see what this is like. So, enough of me talking and mumbling. Now, please go into the link and watch my reaction. And once you've done, come back here and hear my thoughts about the first part, which I just watched. So, see you soon. For those of you that came back, as always, welcome back. Now, I thought about if I should pre-record the part I just did, but I was like, nah, just go in one go. So, I watched the first part. And those were my thoughts and ideas before I jumped in. I just put down for you. And a bit of it already came true. So, first thing first, it's awesome. I really like it. I like the fact that they kind of open up the story with Ted playing against... is it Izuna? I think it is Izuna. Which we met in the series already. I was stumbling a little bit over it because I wasn't aware about the fact that she has no clue who he is, which makes sense. Why should she, you know? The only thing that might give her a hint is that she just lost. So he won a game against her for some fish, it seems an important fish, no idea. And he is, however, still having another game, kind of for information. I'm not sure there. I think he just wants to tell the story, and he wants to tell it to us as well. The thing I am aware of when I see him here now in front of my screen as a big picture, I think about the fact that, as strange as it may sound, and I'm just guessing, might it be that he is an ex machina? I mean, we have seen in the first part of the movie we've just seen, Shui, and her eyes are changing as well, and his eyes kind of remind me of that. So and he has white hair. Well, okay, it's white hair, so what? But I just think about the option, because she is asking for games as well. What if one of those ex machina learned enough about human emotions, about games, about the need for peace, to use the powers that they have to say, we make ourselves a god, which, you know, is in the end just a name. And by doing so, we bring peace to this world, and they, as it seems, they do have the power. By what we've seen, they are pretty powerful. So maybe there is something like that where we are going for. Just a guess. But I wouldn't be surprised. It would be a cool one. Although it would be something where you can be a little bit terrified of. I mean, it's something we have in our future. So I don't know if you are checking what's going on in the world of cybernetics, artificial intelligence, and so on and so forth. But it is some decades possibly until we are good enough at programming that we will be able to create an artificial intelligence that will be able to create more of its kind and improve it. And the question is, will that be a good thing for us? Or might it be in the future that such an artificial intelligence says, well, I'm better off without you, goodbye, here we go, Terminator style. However, the idea still is a nice one here. And it's just a guess that maybe Ted is an ex machina. Might even be Shui. Possibly. And then would be the one question I have, what does TET stand for? No clue yet. So, let's just jump in what we've seen, however. I wrote down, as always, those of you who know me, a hell of a lot of stuff. I'm really sorry if I missed something, although I think I'm quite fine. We started off with Rico playing a game of chess. And it seems to be in the past. So he was younger, against some kind of female, and losing. I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe we will get a little bit more backflips to there, you know, a little bit of more informations about that. However, the world more neither went dark and down in this moment. There were ex machina flying through the sky, I think. And we've seen a bit of the war that was. So we are talking about a war like we could have, or even in the moment right now, or in the not so far future, with like fusion bombs. I think it was like artillery shots from the sky, so possibly like laser satellites, I guess. What we see in the Skype, this swipe. Here they say it is gods fighting each other. So still, it is mass destruction. They're destroying the world, and at least mankind has more neither lost already. They are on the brink to extinction. Rico grabbed, I thought it was a book and ran away, but it seems it was not a book. I think it was a chess game. And there was this robot girl, the ex machina, standing by and watching him run away. I'm pretty sure that this might have already been a Shui, and this was like the trigger for her to go on what she is doing right now. We had then the short moment where we jumped in. We had the intro, and before that we had Ted talking. And he stated that he was only beaten once. And that is an interesting thing. So, watching out. If Ted is appearing in the story, there's a moment where he is beaten, possibly. Or, if I go with my theory that maybe Shui is Ted, that would mean that she is beaten only once. If she's beaten more than once, then she isn't Ted. Or, well, matter of design, if she becomes Ted later on, one could argue all the losses before were not hers. His, you know what I mean. We will see. We met Ellie and Ivan, who were going through some kind of a base of the dwarves, which we haven't encountered at all. I'm pretty sure we have seen no dwarves in this series of No Game No Life. And we haven't seen any either here yet. But they seem to be very, very high tech. So talking about fusion bombs, about computers, holograms and stuff alike. So that's pretty high tech stuff. But they found a card there, that was the important thing. And by getting this card, they later on were able to go to the Elven capital, which is destroyed as well right now. Or at least not inhabited anymore. And Rico had to order Ivan to die because they were found and there was something coming along and someone had to distract it. So that's a tough thing to do. If you're leader of a troop, of an army, whatever, there are those moments when you have to send people to die. And here it is, the typical question for the greater good. So Rico, whysoever, seems to be the leader of what is left of at least this part of humanity. Humanity, as we say later on. It is important that the information that they gather is coming back to the, I will call it tribe. It's not really a tribe, but you know what I mean. The refugees, maybe that. So he had to send Ivan to die, knowing, and that is a tough thing here, knowing that he has a little girl. I don't know enough about Ivan and Ellie when it would go by, that sounds harsh, and I don't mean it as badly as I say, but it would be about who's more worth. I guess Ivan seems to be more loyal, more capable, and I would have sent Ellie to die. But then on the other hand, that's exactly the question. Would have Ellie really done it? So maybe that's why he did send Ivan. They were talking about spirit energy, which seems to be the energy of kind of what we know today as energy. But it being named spirit energy, I guess there is more to it, in the meaning of maybe it is really the energy of dead people. That would be sad. Yes. So he went back. Ivan didn't stop. He just asked to watch after his kid. And then he distracted the whatever kind of purple sluggish worm that was. And possibly died, yeah, no question there. So then they went back to their camp. And there was a hard one. I was a little bit teary-eyed in this moment because it was something that was clear. There was this girl coming in, jumping, being extremely glad about them being back and having a drawing with her, and you knew in that moment, it was so clear that that was Ivan's daughter. And it is this hit in the face, you know, because you know, okay, she's so happy and now she will get possibly the worst message of her life. So that was a mean one, playing on my emotions there, and it worked. So Rico, I stayed in this moment, wow, he's cold. I remember that. Because you could see his eyes and they were like dead. So emotionless. And he was just telling her that he's not coming. So he gave it to her like a back slap with a hand. Completely directly, no emotions in. There are two things. So that's why I thought he is cold. Which we now know he isn't. Maybe it was the best way to do it. Maybe. Because there is no talking around it. It is as it is. And everything like I'm sorry, I don't know, anything that he could have tried to soften it. I don't know if it would have helped. And in this way, it's maybe, just maybe, it will be easier to swallow for her. Maybe. But that's, I mean, that's pure guessing. What are we talking about, right? But you could see, and that's the thing, you could see him clenching his fists. So in this moment, I was aware, okay, it's not easy for him. He's just acting cool. He's just trying to not lose his temper, lose his emotions, which makes sense now that we know that he's some kind of a leader. He's not allowed to break down in front of the people. You need a strong leader, especially in moments like this. When you're at the brink of extinction, you need someone to look up to follow. And this one is not allowed to stagger at all. Because if he staggers, possibly everything will go down. And then he went back to his shed and he simply destroyed everything with bare hands. Because he was so upset about the way he transferred it. He told her about the fact that he lost once again someone. So he has very, very deep emotions. So I'm sorry for saying otherwise. And the dead eyes were because they were really dead, you know? Because he was dead inside in this moment as well. We met his big sister, Caron. I guess she really is his sister. She seems to be a jolly and nice person as far as we've seen. And yeah, well, then we went on. Let's see. Yeah, there was a sentence, you're the one that should have died. I mean, I can understand that. If you're a little girl, you just heard that you lost your father. The one, you know that the guy that tells you this ordered him to die because he did that, as we know now, in the past with others as well. So you need someone, you have this anger, this frustration, hate, immense amounts of pain, and you need to let that out, and she did let it out, and onto him in this case, in meaning you should have died. I think it was necessary to do. It had to be thrown out, but I can only guess that it is not the first time he heard that. And he will possibly get that from many people who later on understand that he has to make this choice for the survival of the whole. But yeah, it doesn't make it easier, you know? It doesn't make it easier. So he went to the Elven capital, hoping for some kind of things there that will make them survive longer. Talked about that. It seems the Flügel were there somewhere in the past, and we've seen those little lights when someone was flying by, as we now know is an ex machina. Ex machina, holy heck. So she appeared, and he was about to stab her with his dagger, and then realized what she is. Talking about she, I mean, she's a machine, so, but she's a machine that took a female form. So there we learned something very important. The ex machina are like one big thing, like a hive mind in the end, which would mean that Shui, and if she would go into this, back into it with her knowledge, maybe that is how, you know, this one here, wrong direction. Ted is created. Still thinking this is an option. So he was aware that if she's still connected, then if he is perceived as danger, he will be attacked by all of them. He will never escape. There's no chance. And talking about that, if one human is perceived as danger, it might very well happen that they just, for the sake of it, kill off all humans. So that's why he didn't attack. The interesting thing, where we are going here now, and there we are in complete Sora and Shiro mode with strange stuff, is the Big Brother theme. The hey Big Brother, make me into a woman. So it's on the you're a human male, so you possibly have like creepy ideas, and she wants to study the heart, so she goes for the Big Brother Little Sister game. But the hey Big Brother is 100% Sora and Shiro. So that's why I think those two are the souls, the tools that were in the past, that we have in the future. And if you think about it, Shiro very much talks like her. Very, very much. So, about her now. About Shui. She disengaged herself, or was disengaged. And she wants to study the human heart. And we learn later on why. And that's interesting. It makes sense. Just by logic, by numbers, by nature, by chances, everything, humanity should have already been extinct in this war. But still they cling to life. They are not going down. And she thinks it is because there's something special, the heart. And I mean, it's a matter of fact, we all know it. Mankind is able to do incredible things out of emotions, out of feelings. We are willing to sacrifice, we are willing to do more to achieve heights that seem to be unachievable for a single one of us, or for a country, or even for all of humanity, if we feel it, you know. It brings out the best in us. It brings out the worst as well, you know. Our emotions are both sides. And a computer, a machine, will possibly never be able to understand it because it cannot feel that. But it will try to understand it. And that's why we are. So, Shui wants to understand how this is working. And maybe she has reasons for that. But in the end, it is just, if you're a machine, you want to understand everything because you have to put these parameters into your calculations. Otherwise, you will never know what happens. So she offered sex because she realized that mankind is very much about that. I mean, it's one of the major things for humanity because we want to survive. So procreation is important. Then she realized, well, she has no orifice, so it's not working. And then, and that's interesting, she went for the chess game. Which brings me to, she definitely either is the machine ex machina from the beginning, or she had the memory, at least, of her. So she saw him playing a game and running away with the game. So that's why she offered the chess game, and he did it. He played her. We don't know how this game ended, but we know that he stated he will change one thing in the parameters. He never said what that was. I think he won. I'm not sure. And she carried him back to the village, including the tauntaun. I will call it tauntaun because it looks like a tauntaun. Which shows us already what power she has. And she then tried to adapt in the way that he wants to. So she changed multiple times her persona until she is the persona we know now, which once again very much reminds us of Shiro. And he just put this onesie over her so that she doesn't look like a machina. And well, Kuran completely embraced her, like, yay, she's wonderful, yay, new member of the family, great. So, and she's in there now, and we will see what's going on. She offered another game to him for information, and that's interesting that he did not jump on it. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't, because she offered informations how to end the war. So she has it. The machina know how to end the war, and they possibly could do it. It's maybe just that they don't see why they should. I mean, if they have no disadvantages. And we had there the fact that he was going completely crazy on her. Which I can understand. So he wants the survival knowledge, he wants humanity to survive, which makes sense. And then she was talking about the thing with the heart, and we don't understand how you did it. Which definitely strung something in him because he was close to killing her. I think it was a very powerful and very impressive scene. Him counting down the names. It's a thing I've seen before in movies and the like. when it comes to movies where they talk about people who were lieutenants, captains, or anything in war, or just normal military personnel who are able to count down the names of their comrades that fall next to them, of their unit, you know. It is this I will remember you thing. And that is very, very powerful, because it means that those are not completely gone. As long as someone remembers, there you still are. So he counted them all down. He for sure was ending with Ivan. I mean, that was clear. It was something I've seen come. So, and he did not kill her. He was crying, he was hurt, and then he hid below his cover and was crying there. And she was aware of the fact that she made him in a strange way hurt again. I'm not sure, maybe in this moment she understood a little bit. I mean, she's on the quest to understand the heart, which in the end is emotions. So maybe there's like the first step, that she understands something. Just guessing. For the next time, well, part 2. I can only guess. I can really only guess. As I already stated, I think it is a valid option that all the ex-mechana... it's really complicated, and sorry, it's very late. All the ex-machina will maybe become Ted. Just maybe. I think she will in the future somehow understand human emotions. I'm really hoping that we will see Jibril. And I can only guess that maybe the family that we have here, Kuron and Rico, will maybe what the royal family is in the future. Just guessing. Yeah. That's it this far. I hope we will see some dwarfs, whatever they are. Maybe they are just some kind of machines as well. We don't know. Yeah. That's it for this time. As always, you know what to do. Please feel free to comment. I really like to read your comments, what you think about it. About my theories so far. Please don't spoil me. When you see this, I will have recorded the second part, but I will very likely not have recorded the last part. So please do not spoil me on that one. And yeah, leave a like if you like. Feel free to visit my Patreon, feel free to visit my Facebook page. And if you're new to the channel, feel very, very free to watch all my other videos, because that's what they are for. So, that's it. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.